I've always been a Victorianist at heart, I'd say. I'm very, very interested in the 19th century. We'll look together at primary source materials, lots of central texts in the period, and look at them in relation to two major novels. And what I really like about that is I'm really interested in the idea of bringing the past into the present. But I think that works two ways. It's also very exciting to bring the present into the past. And so, for example, when we talk about Vanity Fair, which is one of the two novels we're talking about, I want to look at the ways with you that Vanity Fair is a very modern novel. It could have been a novel starring Kim Kardashian. In some ways it really does. And that's one of the ways in which we bring the present back into the past and look at the ways that the selfie emerges in part out of 19th century spectacular culture, the culture of looking at the spectacle and the crowds. This is different than other courses I've done in that instead of looking at a single text, I'm really interested in the relationships between and among texts, and I'm particularly interested in primary texts. So we'll look at, for example, a doctor's account of a child murder. One of the novels we're reading is Adam Bede by George Eliot, and in that novel the central drama is organized around a young woman who, out of desperation, kills the child she conceived of an aristocratic man. She, of course, is a servant girl, true to the cliches of the period. And we'll look at medical texts. How in juridical and medical discourse was infanticide viewed? We'll look at social texts. We'll look at those in relationship to the novel, because I think some of the most interesting things about reading novels is their relationship both to history and to our own sense of issues, for example, the social. And there we'll look at issues of economics, domestic behavior, the crowd. We'll take a look at something like the 1851 Great Exhibition, which is a wonderful, enormous exposition, one of the original expositions in London. Or we'll take a look at Mayhew's quasi-anthropological accounts of street life in London. And I think it says something really interesting about the nature of identity and self-image, and also the emerging notion of a public self, which is one of the things that we'll talk about in the class. Our time together in the classroom is very special to me. I think it's very meaningful. And I also feel as if we really get a chance to know one another through the text that we read. And that's really my experience of Victorian literature, is coming to know myself better through reading. And what we'll do together is come to know one another and ourselves as a group together better through reading 19th century novels.